Just think about how magical it is to stand on the open deck, the horizon stretching endlessly ahead, and realizing that, just this once, you've brought the best possible travel companion, yourself. While some people raise an eyebrow at the idea of cruising solo, positive psychology has plenty to say about why this experience can actually be deeply fulfilling, quite rejuvenating, and even life-changing. So let's dive in to the science and a little bit of heart behind why cruising alone can boost your happiness and confidence long after you've docked back home. I am the solo cruiser Wade Heath, and if you feel like my reporting and perspective bring you any sort of value, I'd encourage you to subscribe to the channel and make sure that like button is firmly pressed. Here we go. We begin with freedom from social scripts. When you travel with others, you often play certain roles: friend, partner, parent, planner, peacekeeper. But on a solo cruise, those roles slip away with the shoreline. Positive psychology calls this autonomy, the freedom to make choices that align with your own values and desires. You decide when to eat, when to nap, when to explore or people watch from your balcony with a coffee in hand. This independence, it isn't loneliness, it's a form of liberation, and it's one of the purest forms of self-affirmation you can experience. We continue with the power of solitude. Solitude, I think, gets a bad rap, but science shows that intentional alone time can boost creativity. It can boost emotional regulation and even clarity from time to time. A cruise ship offers the perfect balance. There's always something to do, yet you're free to simply be. Whether it's journaling as the waves roll by or losing track of time, staring at the sea, these quiet moments strengthen your connection with yourself. It's not isolation, it's introspection at its very best. We move forward with flow and presence. You know that feeling when you're so absorbed in something that time seems to disappear? Well, a prominent psychologist called that flow. Cruises are ideal for creating these flow states. Whether you're swimming laps, maybe you're listening to some live music, or exploring a new port. When you cruise alone, you're more attuned to these moments because there's no external agenda. I think that's one thing I really appreciate about solo cruising most of all. It helps you focus on what's in front of you. You're not easily distracted by everybody else or what anybody else wants to do. You are zeroed in on your own agenda. You're zeroed in on what it is you want to take part in. And therefore, it becomes far more vivid, far more of an experience. You notice more, you feel more, and truly live in the present. I think that's the secret sauce of happiness too. Presence. Next up, positive anticipation and gratitude. Psychologists say that anticipation, the joy of looking forward to something, can be as powerful as the event itself. Solo travelers tend to savor the anticipation even more, planning every detail around what they personally want. I know I've done this myself. Just having a solo cruise on the books in the future, well, that's thrilling, right? That is something that absolutely lifts my spirits anytime I look in the direction of that cruise and start to plan and start to think about what I could do, what I could add, what I could experience. Then, once you're on board, gratitude kicks in. Gratitude for the quiet mornings, the sunsets, the unexpected conversations. Studies show that people who practice gratitude report higher life satisfaction, and a solo cruise gives you endless opportunities to practice it. Moving along, connection without obligation. Cruise ships are floating communities. You can be social on your terms. There's a psychological sweet spot in having the option to connect without the obligation to entertain. You might chat with fellow travelers over dinner one night and dine solo the next without explanation. The autonomy in connection is linked to higher emotional well-being, It allows relationships to form naturally, not out of necessity. To follow that, restorative environments. There's a reason so many guided meditations use ocean sounds. Have you ever thought about that? Research in environmental psychology shows that being near water, often called blue space, reduces stress and enhances calm. Cruises deliver this in abundance. From the rhythmic sway of the ship to the endless blue horizon, it's like being gently reminded to breathe again. The ocean naturally lowers your heart rate and helps your body reset from modern life's constant buzz. There is a moment, usually about 10 minutes after sail away for the first time, that I just breathe again every single cruise. I always recognize that moment. It's like I finally leave the chaos behind and it's time to just relax for once. I think that's why cruising can be addicting. It's a total reset if that's what you want it to be. Next, it's confidence and self-efficacy. Every decision you make solo, whether booking an excursion or navigating a new port, strengthens your self-efficacy or belief in your ability to handle challenges. The more you succeed, the more confident you become. Solo cruisers often describe this as a turning point, realizing they can trust themselves to create joy, comfort, and adventure without anyone else's approval. The ball is in their court, and that's the kind of confidence that travels home with you. Think about having that skill set. Think about being more confident in the long run, all because you took that adventure. You stepped up. It's often why when people share their solo cruising adventures with me, especially when they've done it for the first time, I say, you should be proud of yourself. Good for you. It's not easy the first time for many people, and therefore it's something you should absolutely invest in. Just imagine how much more confident you'll be after 5 solo cruises. Following that with the post-cruise glow. Ever notice how some people return from vacation practically radiating happiness? That's not just the tan, it's the afterglow effect of positive experiences. Cruises, especially solo ones, provide a really deep sense of accomplishment, a lot of clarity, and a renewed perspective. Positive emotions linger, strengthening your overall sense of life satisfaction. And each time you reflect on it, or scroll through your C-Day selfies, your brain reactivates those feel-good pathways. Everybody wants to feel good. And having that post-cruise glow, well, that's an after effect that I keep chasing. It's something I can't wait to feel again long after a cruise. And finally, seeing yourself differently. Perhaps the most profound shift, well, happens quietly. You start to see yourself not as someone traveling alone, but as someone capable, somebody who's curious, someone who is whole. Positive psychology calls this self-concordance, or living in harmony with who you truly are. It's not uncommon for people to take a solo cruise for the first time in an attempt to find themselves, in an attempt to get this direction. And that's completely fine. In fact, I'd encourage you to do that if you've never considered it before. Solo travel, solo cruising, it's not taboo. It's not problematic. It allows you to live with yourself for a while, to unlock those parts of you that may have been locked away for a long time. The static that you experience while you're on land and in your day-to-day life, sometimes that can get in the way of you truly being who you are meant to be. A solo cruise allows for so much solitude, so much ability to be with the very best version of you and to heal those parts of you that need that trauma healing. And what better setting to rediscover that harmony than the sea, where every sunrise reminds you that fresh starts are always possible. I know my first solo cruise came right after a very traumatic incident in my life. I had a parent in hospice care on her deathbed and spent months with her. I was told she had 2 weeks. 2 weeks turned into those months. One of the things that she had shared with me was she always regretted not traveling. She always regretted not seeing the world. She regretted it because everything always stood in her way. And I thought, all I do is work. All I do is focus on everything else in my life. I never focus on me anymore. So, the good news is, she graduated hospice. She's still alive to this day. She's healthier than ever. And that led me to traveling alone for the first time. And what that ended up doing was opening up a door to the greatest part of my life I've ever had. Taking a cruise alone isn't about escaping others. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about finding freedom in the rhythm of the waves, the joy in your own company, and peace in knowing that happiness is something you can create anywhere, even in the middle of the ocean. So the next time someone says, "You're going on a cruise alone?" just smile and say, "Exactly, and it's going to be amazing." Are you somebody who solo cruises often? Have you solo traveled before and find that any of the things that I've touched on in this list represent your own journey, reflect things that you have found as you solo travel? Boy, I'd love to hear from you. Not just down in the comments, but if you'd like to join us over on the Solo Cruise Travel Facebook page, that's also a place where we meet daily to discuss not just solo cruise deals, but also share some of the very best of solo cruising together. And if you're an individual who is interested in solo cruising or solo travel for the first time, I'm all ears. Drop your questions down in the comments. If there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. I'll do my best to get back to you. And if you're interested in seeing what a solo cruise journey is like from A to Z and everything in between, I want you to check out my Carnival Forense video, the solo cruise journal that I did on Carnival Forense from start to finish, the entire journey where things went bump in the night and kept me awake and nobody could explain. That video is over there on the right for other solo cruise tips and tricks. I've got a video there for you on the left. For the Solo Cruiser, I'm Wade Heath. I'll see you next time.